welcome everyone to today's episode of Signals from Mars. I'm your host, Victor. Joining me are Metal Dan and Brad Dahl. We will be doing our Ronnie James Dio countdown tonight. Edgar Winterson is joining us in the chat.
Yeah, Edgar.
And this is an interesting one. I will say this is probably the first countdown where top three rotated continuously or were very close to one another until it got down to the last few votes.
Ooh.
And even still, the top three were still very, very close to one another. It was closer than any other poll or any other voting for another countdown. So
it was a great idea for a ranking. I'm kind of puzzled that the guy who came up with this idea isn't even here.
He forgot.
What?
He is with his grandkids, so family comes first. So
wait, he has grandkids?
He has grandkids.
Yes, wow. Okay.
Really want to thank him for coming up with this idea. This was a good one. It was a fun one. It was great to go through the discography again.
Absolutely. And there's stuff that I think resonates more with us depending on when you kind of jumped on the Ronnie train here. There's also stuff that you go back and check out and that it's still really good. There are albums that didn't make my top 10 that still have really good songs on them.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So anyway, I have edited some sound samples.
Ooh.
I believe we have the right team together to go through this. So we'll see. Some of these will be harder than others. But anyway, let's start things off here.
Number 10.
I just listened to
that. I had to make sure. I wasn't sure if you were going to be here or not, Dan. So I said, okay, I know that Metal Dan will get this in like one note. But if Metal Dan isn't here and it's Brad, I got to be kind to Brad.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I could have been a dreamer. Now, what album is that off of?
Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I could have been a dreamer.
Did I mess this up?
I don't know. Did I mess it
up? Isn't that the song? That's the riff, isn't it?
Let me see here.
Wait a second. Now I'm starting to wonder if I got it right. What? What in the world of sports is going on here?
All right, Mr. Blazing Saddles.
I won't give you the next line.
Isn't that the riff? Play that riff again.
I don't. Is that Goldie?
So I want to make sure that
if it's Goldie,
that's I Could Have Been a Dreamer. All right, let me make sure that I didn't screw this up.
Could have been a dreamer. That's Dream Evil.
Dream Evil. Yeah.
I came in number 10. You guys suck.
Now you had me. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's Dream Evil.
Yeah, his Dream Evil.
I love that album. It's when I listened to all the discographies, this one kept going up higher and higher. The bass on it is amazing. It's so well balanced and mixed. But okay, number 10, huh?
Yeah, so let's go through some tidbits here. July 21st, 1987. Some sources say that it's July 7th. Nonetheless, it will hit its 40th anniversary next year, so it will be 39 in just a few weeks. Produced by Ronnie James Dio and engineered by Angelo Arcuri. The label is Warner Brothers Vertigo. And this is the first Dio album without Vivian Campbell. Craig Goldie, ex-Jafria Rough Cut, takes over on guitar. It's also keyboardist Claude Schnell's final Dio album. The last Dio EP to feature mascot Murray on the cover, illustrated by Steve Huston. And the last with the classic Bane Appice rhythm section for years. Centerpiece of the album is the epic All Fools Sail Away. Is a fan favorite lead single. I could have been a dreamer. Got an MTV video directed by Wayne Isham. By album 4, critics felt Dio formula was set in stone, but it still reached number 8 in the UK, 43 in the US. Goldie would later rejoin Dio for Magica and the final studio album, Master of the Moon.
Yeah, 87. I mean, this came on. KNAC was in its prime on radio here in Southern California. This album was all over it. I go back and listen to it again. The album is better than you think it is. Sunset, Superman, all these songs were played relentlessly over and over by me. If Jimmy Bain truly is playing on this, it's remarkable how well the bass stands out. Vinny's drumming is stellar, just in the groove. They're both just locked in. But hey, it made the list. That's all right. There's a lot of good Dio albums still to come.
Yeah. Brad. Ooh. Brad, anything from you?
I think Dan is all over this one, but I do have to say Jimmy Bain, he's one of the few bass players that actually has his own sound. I mean, I don't know what his secret is. I don't know. I think he plays a Yamaha bass, but I don't think it's just that. Anyway, he has a great tone, and you know, good job not sounding like anybody. You know what I mean? So he was such a key part of that band. His writing, huge.
That's what I was going to say. He probably is the most underrated member to have ever been in Dio, because everyone focuses obviously on Ronnie. Everyone focuses in on the guitarist. But the albums that had Jimmy on them are at another level.
Yep.
Because he just brought something out of Ronnie. He also brought things to the table. You can also check out what he did in Last in Line. That first Last in Line album is great, I think. Yep. And the other two are just okay because they're missing Jimmy. I think Jimmy had so much to do with the songwriting and just being part of that puzzle with Vinny. They understood each other so well, and he was great. He was great in Rainbow as well. So
he was my idol, one of my idols growing up. And in the way he played it with his mouth partly open, I watched him over and over. You know, he had a little bit of a drinking thing going on. So whatever, he pulled it off. I don't know if he ever missed a note, but he was amazing to me.
Cool. So let's...
Number 9.
Yeah, that's muddy. I don't know if that's Sabbath or the Magica later when it got muddy. I don't know what that is.
I'm stumped too. Guy, if it was, wait a second. Let me think about this.
Number 9.
That's a Sabbath.
I'm gonna go on the Heaven and Hell album.
The Heaven and Hell album, as in
not the album.
It's the band.
Yeah.
One of those that I don't listen to much. Okay, number 9.
It's not Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell. You're saying
the devil you know. The devil you know
by Heaven and Hell.
That's what I'm going with.
Released on April 28th, 2009. Produced by the band Dio, Iommi, and Geezer Butler with Mike Exeter. Recorded at Rockfield Studios in Wales. Released on Roadrunner Rhino. The tidbits included here is the only studio album under the Heaven and Hell name. The Dio-fronted Sabbath lineup rebranded so audiences wouldn't expect Ozzy-era songs like Iron Man. Yeah, it goes a little beyond that.
I think there's some stuff going on.
Use the Black Sabbath name, and they had done the whole Hall of Fame thing and said that they don't want to confuse people, yada, 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 whatever. Okay, anyway.
We're so confused.
Yeah. It was Ronnie James Dio's last studio album. He died of stomach cancer on May 16th, 2010. He had planned to return to the Dio band to make Magica 2. I actually got to see him on his last solo tour, which was before this. Yeah. Coming on the stage before Kiss.
Who was in the band at that point? You remember?
Rudy Sarzo, Simon Wright, Craig Goldie, and it was who was
That was Geezer on bass.
What's that?
Geezer on bass?
No, it was Rudy during that tour that I saw.
Yeah. It was the Dio Disciples boys.
Yeah, everyone who ended up in Dio Disciples was basically in the band. The keyboard player was Scott.
Oh yeah, Warren. Scott Warren?
Scott Warren. I said I'm like, it's W, but it's not Wakeman. That's Adam Wakeman. That's Ozzy. But anyway, all right.
I should get a bonus point for that. Come on.
There you go. Circle gets a square, folks. Ding ding. The cover's adapted from Pear something or other. Sorry, Johan, I can't pronounce this. Painting Satan, the number 25 and 41 hidden in the art reference Matthew 25:41 on the Last Judgment. Dio and Butler joked about titling it Villa Yankees after their favorite sports teams. Butler Aston Villa and Dio the New York Yankees. It debuted at number 8 on the Billboard 200 and won Best Album at the 2010 Metal Hammer Golden Gods Awards. The song is Fear. It is the second track off of the album. I love that song. The first two I think are great. There are other things. I mean, even those tracks have some, I like to call refried riffs that Iammi brought back from the Tony Martin years that he used during this album. I'm surprised at how many people actually voted for this album.
I think that's pretty cool.
No shit.
Yeah, that's one I need to dig out and listen to.
I have it to my left here. I have the vinyl from when it first came out. I know they've reissued it recently, but
nice.
That's there. So, moving on here, folks.
Number 8.
LA Connection.
That is LA Connection.
Long live rock and roll.
Came out April 9th, 1978. Wikipedia lists it as April 14th. Produced by Martin Birch. Recorded at Chateau de or something or other. Strawberry Studios, France. Released on Polydor. The last Rainbow album with Dio, who left when Blackmore steered the band towards a more commercial, radio-friendly sound. Blackmore fired bassist Mark Clark and erased his parts, then played most of the bass himself. Bob Daisley later joined the band to finish with Dave Stone on keys. The studio was reputedly haunted. A late-night seance named a spirit called Ball, with tales of tapes playing back on their own and people shoved on the staircases or on the staircase. The album credit literally reads, "No thanks to Ball." The crowd photo on the cover is actually from a Rush concert. The banner wording was swapped for the album title, and the visible Rush t-shirts are airbrushed black. The Middle Eastern flavored epic Gates of Babylon was the last track finished. Kill the King had already been a live show opener since 1976. So that's interesting. So they were playing that for 2 years before it even ended up on an album. Brad is saying yes, so Brad must have seen them live playing that.
Actually, I saw him on the Long Live Rock and Roll tour. Saw him twice. First time warming up for REO Speedwagon.
Oh wow!
How about that? Rainbow warming up for REO Speedwagon at the LA Shrine the Shrine
Sports
Auditorium.
Arena.
No,
Sports
the
Arena?
Shrine Auditorium. the Shrine. It was like where they have all the award shows and stuff. It was more like a theater kind of thing. Yeah, that show was famous for Rainbow going on like 45 minutes late. The crowd really wanted to string up the guitar player.
Richie Blackmore.
Yeah, Richie. Yeah. I guess he was Axl before Axl was Axl. But it was great. It was. I mean, it was the first time I've ever seen Ronnie James Dio, and he was just mesmerizing. I mean, he was so cool. And of course, Cozy Pal. That was the best part of the show for me. Was Ronnie and Cozy. Ronnie was just fantastic. The rest of the band was, okay, but Cozy, yeah, really good. And then I saw him again at the Swing Auditorium in San Bernardino. And I think they were headlining that show, if I'm not wrong. And Ronnie Montrose was warm-up act. He was doing his open fire thing. It was just all instrumental. It was really good, though. With the future Journey drummer and his band. So there you go. A little trivia for you.
Future Journey drummer, as in Ainsley Dunbar, Steve Smythe,
Steve Smith. Yeah, Steve Smith, because and I saw him at the Long Beach Sports Arena, Ronnie Montrose opening up for Journey. So you can see how those dots got connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Machine Gun Smith on the live album that I love so much.
Yeah. Yeah. So, man, 3 like really great concerts there. Boom, boom, boom. And
I'll go the lights.
Where was Pat Travers? He was like warming up almost every show I saw him in the 70s, so he should have been at one of those.
How do you go from Rainbow to REO Speedwagon? I mean, I personally only know
Riding the Storm Out was huge at the time.
Yeah, it was their first big album, at least in California, is that you can tune a piano but you can't tune a fish, and it was quite a big thing. But I gotta tell you, I wanted to leave early. The drummer in my band, he's like the hugest Jimmy Blackmore, and Cozy Pal guy. He bought these tickets. He bought them back then. There wasn't like a big resale market like there is now, obviously. But he bought them, and I think they cost like $45. And so he's like,
"Whoa,
damn, I paid $45 for these tickets. We're staying. We're not leaving." And I actually fell asleep during REO Speedwagon. And I woke up at one point where the singer, he was pretending to be talking on the phone. And I was like, this is the biggest like waste of time. His voice just was rough on my ears. So I'm going to say that. Well, I thought at the time they were the loudest band I'd ever heard. Rainbow was great. Rainbow was fantastic. Loved every minute of it. REO Speedwagon. Sorry, fans. Yeah, not my cup of tea. So back to Ronnie James Dio. Fantastic. Okay, his thing with the twirling the mic stand, he had the tripod mic stand, which is why that's what I prefer to use if I'm singing. And I don't know how he did that. I guess he just loosened the top and the bottom there so you can spin the dang thing and then tighten it back. I don't know, but it was so cool that he was badass, man. He was like one of the best, just funnest lead singers I've ever seen.
He put it in the air, right?
Yeah, he'd put it in the air, but he'd spin it. He'd spin the bottom of it, so the prongs would be like spinning. And
yeah,
like, how's he doing that?
I forgot that move. Thanks for bringing that back.
Wouldn't he just keep his other hand like kind of open so that it could spin in that?
Well, he could have done because I mean back then,
but the mic was right there.
No cordless mic, so I mean so you would have had the cable whipping around, so you had to have the mic steady. So the only thing I can think of is, like I said, he loosened, where the top part of the stand goes into the bottom part, but yet there was never any collapsing or anything. It was just he's the only person I've ever seen do that.
There must have been something back then with rumors going around with his tricked out mic stand, like in the 80s, about people having tricked out guitars and stuff like that. So it must have been, hey, that Ronnie James Dio has he's cheating. He's got something special in his mic, and that helps his voice, and all that
Probably.
nonsense.
Yeah, he
So-
was fantastic. I mean, both nights I saw him on that tour were just fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a flashback.
It's a good album. It's a good album. It was the first Rainbow album I listened to the whole thing. So
probably looking back, at least for me, it's probably my favorite of all the albums that he did with Rainbow. Probably has the most amount of strong songs on there, at least stuff that's more towards what I usually listen to. But
I have a feeling there's going to be another Rainbow album that's going to beat this one, though. But we'll see.
All right, we'll see.
We'll see.
Like I said, there are some surprises here. So
I like surprises.
Number 7.
Dehumanizer.
I made these two. I went from one extreme to another. I went from making them too hard to making them too easy. That Brad's getting them all.
No. That's a difficult one. You're doing nothing wrong.
He was drinking at the time, so I had the unfair advantage. You should get your beverage ready when you're hearing the clip. Like
you're fine. That was a difficult clip. Don't cut yourself short. Brad's on his shit today.
Metal Dan is just being nice because he's kicked my ass all over the place when we had Trivia Tuesdays. I mean, he's the man. He's the freaking metal genius. That's why he's Metal Dan.
Brad, what's the song?
Oh, God. I'm so bad. See, this is where CDs ruin things for me. Like because you're not constantly looking at the title and stuff. And yeah, I can't pull the song title out of my ass. Sorry.
I can redeem myself a little then. All right, so released June 22nd, 1992 in the UK, June 30th, 92 in the US, produced by Reinhold Mack, recorded at Rockfield Studios in Wales. Once again, released on IRS Reprise. Reunited the Mob Rules lineup, Dio, Iommi, Butler, Appice, for Dio's first Sabbath studio album in 11 years, The Spark. Geezer joined Dio on stage in Minneapolis for Neon Nights during the Lock Up the Wolves tour. It was meant to feature drummer Cozy Powell, but his horse died and collapsed on him, breaking his hip, so Vinny Appice stepped back in. Mid-session.
The horse just died and they fell on. I think so. I don't know if that's correct. I don't think that's a correct story.
Yeah, I had always thought that he fell off the horse.
Yeah, that sounds more about right.
Yeah, given that as much as I love Cozy, he was known for tossing a few back. I could be wrong, but I believe he was drunk when he died as well. He died in a car accident. He was going too fast.
Yeah. I believe he was doing not doing hands-free on the cell phone and going way too fast. And well, I'm gonna blame his girlfriend because I think he was talking to his girlfriend and she's probably pissed him off. So,
okay. So it says
drummers and girls. You could probably back me up on that, Victor.
What's that?
Drummers are famous for having really bad girlfriends. At least every drummer that I've ever been in a band with, the women problems go just off the charts. Yeah.
For me, it was usually the guitars, but anyway.
Most of the guitarists I had in bands, they were too busy playing guitar to even be interested in girls. They were those kind of guys. That's all they did is play guitar. Hey, play guitar. Girls? Yeah.
So let's see. Mid-session, Iommi and Butler briefly auditioned former singer Tony Martin to replace Dio before carrying on with him. Time Machine also appears in a different version in the movie Wayne's World. Widely regarded as one of Sabbath's heaviest albums, I would say it's probably the heaviest. Dio calls it one of his favorites despite the tension. It wasn't a lot of fun to do, but I think it was a great album. The reunion imploded again when Dio refused to have Sabbath open for Ozzy at his Costa Mesa farewell shows. Judas Priest Rob Halford filled in for 2 nights.
Weren't you there, Dan?
No, I thought you were there.
No,
No.
I was stuck in Utah.
No, I absolutely regretted it after the fact. And no, at the time, I saw Dio so many times that I almost was tired of him. And that sounds stupid now, but he played all the shows, opening or headline or whatever, and just some shit you just couldn't get to, where something else was going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was in college radio at the time. Loved this album. Was bummed that he was leaving Sabbath, and one of the PR people from Hollywood Records, Kevin Estrada, who is a famous photographer now, he was at the show and shot the show, and he had brought it up. He was like, "Oh, they had Ronnie James Dio and this and that," and at the same time, Bruce Dickinson was leaving Iron Maiden. And I remember that I and Chris Vaglio, who I used to do the Galaxy of Geeks podcast with, we were both at the same college radio station. And we were saying before Blaze Bayley was selected, we were like, we hope that Dio ends up being the new lead singer in Iron Maiden.
Wow.
Without realizing the whole, you need to be from the UK to be a member of Iron Maiden, even though a lot of their people behind the scenes are American, but they've never had a member who wasn't from the UK. So Dehumanizer, for those that are listening to this for the first time or listening to the show for the first time, is my all-time favorite Sabbath album because of its heaviness. It is my second favorite album of all time. I have 2 copies behind me on vinyl. I have it on CD as well. I have it twice on vinyl because when they remastered it the first time, they lowered the volume of the drums, and they corrected that with the following reissue. So I love it. I love the heaviness. I don't care what Tony Iommi says in his biography. He says that only drummers love this album. Correct. That is correct. I am a drummer. I love it. As Fred Flint said, love it, love it, love it. So there you go. All right. Number 6.
Number 6.
It's a Rainbow album, isn't it?
It is.
And now you got to figure out which one it is. That is
I'm gonna go with God, why am I so bad with this?
It's
Rising. I'm going with Rainbow Ride.
I'm going with Rising. That's my pick.
Released May 17th, 1976. Produced by Martin Birch. Recorded at Musicland Studios, Munich, in under a month on Oyster Polydor. Just 6 tracks. Side 2 is 2 8-minute epics. Stargazer and A Light in the Black. Kerrang! Readers voted it the number 1 heavy metal album of all time in 1981.
Whoa.
It's what we had.
Right. We didn't know any better.
You look back, yeah.
Right. It sits at number 48 on Rolling Stone's 2017 list. Stargazer, Dio's tale of an enslaving wizard who builds a tower to fly and falls to his death, features the Munich Philharmonic Orchestra. Its central riff reportedly originated on cello that Blackmore liked to tinker with. Most of the album was cut in just 1 or 2 takes. Blackmore, normally a control freak, gave the new band total freedom. Just play what you feel. The classic, that doesn't sound like Richie at all.
That doesn't sound like Richie at all. No, maybe that's why it's so good.
Probably. The classic rainbow lineup of Blackmore, Dio, Cozy Powell, Jimmy Bain, Tony Carey, cover by Ken Kelly, a giant fist rising from a stormy sea, clutching a rainbow. Metallica later recorded a Ronnie Rising melody, Stargazer, Tear It Woman, Kill the King,
Yeah, that's really
Night in
good.
Black for the 2014 Dio tribute. This is your life.
Amazing.
So yeah, I said before I probably like Long Live Rock and Roll more, but this has some great songs on it as well.
Well, you get a Stargazer. That's one of the best drumming studio performances ever. I mean, Cozy just killing it. It makes you want to play the drums, man.
And the song itself, I mean, this is like a precursor to everyone, with what they do later stage or later days where you have bands just joining in and singing along to riffs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is like, if not the first song to ever do that, it's one of the first with that part before the chorus. I mean, or in the chorus itself. So, great album, remarkable cover as well. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
This is the one I expected to be the #1 Rainbow album. So
Okay,
we'll see if we'll see if Richie Blackmore's Rainbow makes the list, but
okay,
I don't think it will.
It shouldn't.
I'm saying no. Dan, anything about Rising?
No, go ahead. But it is a good. It's only 6 songs, but it's good. It's still good to go back and listen to, especially with Metallica covering the song. It makes it even more special.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 5.
You're not going to play a guitar riff? That's
What the hell is that? Wait a second.
no. Now he decided to mix it up.
Shall I give it to you guys again?
Won't help.
Number 5.
What the hell is that?
All right,
Edgar, help us out. Come on, Edgar. You got anything?
Jump
in the chat. What the hell is that?
Let me play a little bit longer.
Wait, are we going to say that Magica made it on the top 10?
I don't think so.
No,
I don't. No, it shouldn't.
No.
Especially this high.
If so, we're gonna have to out everybody who voted for it.
No,
This is not crap. It just doesn't make. It's not better than any of these other albums. I'm just saying. All right, Victor, are you sure this is something that has Ronnie James Dio on it? Wait, this is Mob Rule?
You'll find the Sacred Heart. Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
So a lot of people voted for this one. August 85. Produced by Ronnie, engineered again by Angelo Acuri at Rumbo Studios in LA. Probably most famous for the studio that Appetite for Destruction came out of, among others. Warner Brothers Vertigo, the last Dio album with founding guitarist Vivian Campbell, who was fired midway through the tour amid creative and financial dispute. Craig Goldie replaced him. Dio's verdict for me, he wasn't even there for this record. The tour was a theatrical spectacular, a medieval castle stage, and a mechanical laser shooting dragon that Dio battled nightly with a broadsword. The band called the dragon Dean. The press dubbed it Denzel. The road show reportedly cost $250,000 in 1985 dollars. The cover, Dragon Gazing into a Crystal Ball by Robert Flortsac, I guess how you pronounce it, carries a Latin border inscribed about dreams, a sacred heart, and a golden door. Around this time, Dio spearheaded the all-star metal charity project Aid and the single Stars. Single Hungry for Heaven was also turned up on the Vision Quest soundtrack alongside the likes of Journey and Madonna. So Sacred Heart.
That was the first time he did something that was. I mean, it's funny. He supposedly leaves Rainbow because they want to go more commercial, and then he does a song like this, which to me just didn't fit.
But Sacred Heart, the title track, you think that's really commercial? I mean, I would
say no, not the title track, but the Hungry for Heaven. Hungry for Heaven is like
Hungry for Heaven. Rock and Roll Children, I think, was commercial as well. Yeah. You know, I don't know if that's really what happened, you know, because you see
oh yeah.
I recently saw like Graham Bonnet live with Rainbow. I saw clips, and he's doing a lot of these songs live, like with veracity, like Dio. I'm like, wow, he's actually pulling this stuff off. And
yeah,
you kind of get sidetracked by his whole gimmick of the suit and tie and all that, but he's got that killer voice, you know. So yes, he's not Dio, but he's still bringing his shit to the table. Back to Sacred Heart, though. Yeah, I mean, this album is definitely a sign of the times, with what everyone else was doing. And if that was his excuse for leaving Rainbow, you know, he's 7 years later, he's dipping his toe into some commercial waters as well. So, how much is that label pressure? How much is that, you know, the band coming up with this type of stuff? How much is it seeing, you know, because even though Sabbath is kind of out of the picture at this time, there's still this guy named Ozzy who's getting commercial success. And I would think that there's some pressure from that as well. Oh, well, the other Sabbath singer is getting on the radio, and he's, you know, he's on MTV, and he's, you know, selling out tours.
Selling out arenas.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
this is
play into it.
Yeah, I saw him on this tour, and it was a spectacle. It was incredible. Great show. Viv was still in the band. I got excited because, you know, I have that area ZZB bass, the black and white thing, and Vivian had a guitar model of that. I've never seen anybody else with that had inlays in it that lit up. And,
oh wow!
I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool, and that
great show.
That autographed vinyl there, Dan. That's an original pressing.
Absolutely, probably purchased on the day that it came out or whatever, and signed by Jimmy Bain. I met him at the BC Rich store, and he was running a little late. He may have been already drinking. I may have been, I don't know, 18 or 19 years old. I didn't care. Again, he was my idol. We showed up there probably 1 or 2, 3 hours early, and I didn't know any better because I'm a dumb kid. But what do you do in a store for 3 hours? I don't know. We just waited around. It was hot. And I met Jimmy Bain, and first in line, and it was awesome.
That's awesome.
We worshiped Dio at the time. Yeah, Maiden was huge in my life, but fucking Dio was everything. He so when I listen to this stuff, I just want to add it makes me happy, but it also makes me sad now. With the death of him, it really hurt. Yeah. I would have met him if he was still alive. I know it. Just didn't have enough time.
Yeah. So you knew he was going to that BC Rich store, in other words.
Yeah, it was advertised somewhere, and that Jimmy was showing up. So let's go. You know, what else we got to do? Absolutely. Just got lucky.
That's cool.
That's very cool.
So that album, When I Die, will be thrown away, and nobody will give a,
Oh man,
I don't know what's. Yeah, you know. I don't,
That's like the time when vinyl was getting kind of crappy sound wise. I remember my version of this album, the very first song, the keyboard thing intro. It was just yeah, it wasn't good. So I was like, oh man, I can't wait till this gets on CD, so I can have a good version of that. The opening song. Is that
Right.
Night People?
not 85. Yeah, I saw. Dang, I wasn't even 18 yet. So yeah.
Yeah, great album, great fun. Yeah, Dio. Yeah, he was at the top, man. He was top shelf for rock. I mean, yeah, selling out arenas.
Cool. All right. Moving on.
It kind of went like this after, though. So the next time I saw him, it wasn't in an arena; it was in a small place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that happened to everybody, wasn't?
I know.
Number 4.
Fell in love with a country girl, so we're on Black Sabbath.
Good
And go ahead.
No, well, you got the song that you
Hey,
win this one.
Yeah, Country Girl is on. Is not on Mob Rules. Is on.
It's Mob Rules.
Yes, Mob Rules.
So cool. Released on November 4th, 1981, produced by Martin Birch, recorded at the record plant in LA. Vertigo Warner Brothers released it. First Black Sabbath studio album with Vinny Appice completing the Mob Rules lineup. It was Birch's last Sabbath album before he went to Maiden full time. The title track was first cut for the 1981 animated cult film Heavy Metal, written and recorded in roughly a day at Tittenhurst Park, John Lennon's former home, where the Imagine video was filmed. Ringo Park owned it. Ringo Starr owned it by then.
Ringo Park, he's his Korean stepbrother.
The album version is slightly different re-recording. Is a slightly different re-recording. Okay.
I like fuck ups in podcasts. I think you should keep that one.
Oh,
Where did that come from in your brain?
That's why Victor has me on the show.
That came from because before that I said Tittenhurst Park.
Okay.
And then somehow I said
Ringo Park.
Yeah.
Ringo Park. I don't know. That reminded me of some soccer stadium in England, and for some reason it just stayed in my brain for a few more seconds. That's nothing worth editing out. So that's
no, you're good. No, it's great.
Clarity.
Mob Rules, man. What an album. You know, I know Heaven and Hell's above this. So heavy, so evil.
Yeah.
At his time.
I like this one better than Heaven and Hell. And I don't know, it just kicks ass so much harder. I mean, it's and I love the sound to it. I know it's the same guy producing it, but it doesn't sound the same. It's more in your face. It's more, you know.
I think Heaven and Hell sounds audio better, but I thought this one was kind of muddy, but it is what it is for the album.
My thing, and I know this is sacrilegious, but because a lot of people absolutely love the last few tracks off of this. There are songs that I really like off of Mob Rules, and there are songs that are just okay for me. I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just okay for me. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Voodoo, for example, is one of my all-time favorite songs. My favorite version of Voodoo is the one that's on Live Evil, only because how Vinny comes in on that, where he's like counting it off on the China symbol, just gives it more. It gives it just more energy, more intensity, more. There's just something to it. It's similar. Country Girl, as much as I love it, there's that That live album that was a limited release when they released the when they released the Devil You Know album, which
Oh
was
yeah.
later released as part of the Mob Rules reissue. There's a version of Country Girl on that where it's the same thing where he's counting off the intro to the song on a China symbol, I think it is. So it just gives it a certain feel to it. But I mean, Turn Up the Night, Voodoo, Mob Rules, Country Girl, to me, those are among my favorite songs of all time. As much as maybe I like Heaven and Hell a little better. I mean, this is still hard. It's hard to choose between these albums. It's because they're great albums, regardless.
Yeah.
Vinny Appice on drums. If you don't have him in the band, it may not be the same sound, and the same may go with you know, with Jimmy Bain and Geezer.
Vinny,
Yeah, Vinny's got his own style, man. I mean,
Yeah.
he really, and I love the way he's kind of just like pushes stuff. He's a huge part of this. I mean, if you do this album with any other drummer, I don't think it's going to be near as good. I mean, if Bill Ward plays on this, I don't know.
I think that Vinny is also underrated in his and how much he's influenced other players. For as much as Bill Ward is brought up as an influence, all these stoner and doom metal bands play more like Vinny than they do like Bill, because Bill's a lot more chaotic. He's all over the place in songs. There's a lot of stuff where they're not playing to a metronome. So he's speeding up, he's slowing down. Vinny's like a machine. Vinny keeps time like a machine, and his playing, the heaviness to his playing, there's just something to it where if you hear any of these doom or stoner bands just play a certain way, like Corrosion of Conformity just released an album that's heavy as hell. Even though Stanton Moore is on that album, who is a jazz drummer, who you would think would lean more towards a Bill Ward style of playing, his playing is more like Vinny's playing because he's playing aggressively and he's playing heavily on a lot of those tracks. So I don't think people talk about Vinny's playing as much as they should on this, or Dehumanizer, for example, or those first few Dio albums that he's playing on. Ultimately, his playing has been heard by millions of people, and the bigger Dio tracks that get on the radio is him playing on it.
Yeah.
So as much as I love Simon Wright, people know Vinny's playing more than Simon's playing.
Yeah. Simon's a really good player, but Vinny's he brings a lot to the party, man. He's not. This is a great album. I love this album. Here's my beef with this album, though. The first song is my favorite song on the album, Turn Up the Night. They've never played that live. Never.
Oh, wow.
What the hell? Come on, Tony.
That would be great to start a show off with.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, you would think. I wonder what they played opening up on this tour. It's probably Neon Nights. But,
well, it's Live Evil. It's that tour.
You're right. That is the tour.
It's Neon Nights.
Yeah, I think it's So, but you're right. I mean, as a kid and as an adult now, I love it when a band comes out with a new album and the tour is all about that new album. It's like they got the opening song coming off of that album. They're going to play 4 or 5 songs off the new album and then sprinkle in all the, stuff you want to hear in between. And it's just a different world now.
Until the fans shit on Iron Maiden for doing it with, one of my favorites, A Matter of Life and Death. And
they just did it the wrong way. I mean, you play the whole new album and it's like a 60-minute long album.
Takes up a lot of time.
Yeah. I don't know.
Back in these days, it was 35, 40-minute long album.
Correct. Yeah, I love it when bands pimp out the new album. I think as far as bands that I go and see, Saxon's probably the only one who does it, but when they're headlining only. they'll play 4 or 5 songs off their latest album, and I just love that because you'll never hear them again.
Yeah, I don't know why bands went away from doing that, where you had, in the 80s where bands were playing 4 to 5 new songs every tour.
Here's what it is, Victor. Okay, especially these bands that were big in the 80s. The most of those fans didn't follow the band after that. And so they want to just hear those songs from back when they were big fans of the band. They don't want to hear, and they had no idea they even got a new album. Like, oh, they got a new album?
Yeah. I love their last album, when they broke up in 88.
Yep.
They've been playing for the last 25 years. What are you talking about? They got back together 5 years later. So.
Yeah, there was, when I saw Maiden on the, okay, what's the album with all the future stuff in it? This
Future,
no. Anyway, I'm blacking on this, but anyway, this kid that was next to us, he kept yelling in between every song, play an old song.
Final Frontier?
Yes, Final Frontier. And the album hadn't actually come out yet, but they only played, I think, 2 songs off it. But they played Wrathchild, and then the guy starts yelling, play an old song. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? That is an old song. I don't know that one. Like, what, whose fandom of Iron Maiden is that narrow? It's like, I only know the album. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Trooper, Run to the Hills, and
Hallowed Be Thy Name. Just from song 2 onwards, people just asking them to play their most known songs. It's just beyond stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, I go back to Ronnie James Dio. I never did get to see him with Black Sabbath.
Oh wow!
It just never worked out, and it's plagued me that I never was able to pull that off, and we were never in the same town at the same time. Because I love what he did with the Sabbath guys. I love all those albums, and this one's my favorite of them. So there.
All right, let's move on to number 3.
Oh.
We're beyond that, Brad.
Number 3.
That sounds. It sounds like you accidentally answered your phone in your pocket and you're scratching your ass.
Victor doesn't want us to pick him apart.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I mean, it's gotta be one of
those. That's fine. All right, so let me play the song, the intro, until the guitar kicks in.
I Speed at Night. So that's the Last in Line album, right? Yeah. So I just realized I'm not the best on following lyrics, but on one of the live Dio things, he says this goes out to the guys in Motorhead. I Speed at Night, and I was like, I clicks. I get it now, because they did a lot of Speed.
Yeah.
That's what I guess that's what it's about.
Well,
go ahead, Victor, back to you.
Yeah, you listen to that riff, and it's total total Motorhead.
Well, they did a lot of Blow. I Speed at Night.
I get that.
Go ahead, Victor. I think that's what it is.
So released July 2nd, 1984, produced by Ronnie James Dio, engineered by Angelo Acuri at Caribou Ranch, Colorado, released on Warner Brothers Vertigo. Label pushed Dio to hire Ted Templeman, Van Halen Montrose, for a more commercial sound. Dio flatly refused was convinced no one could capture the Dio sound better than himself. The first album with keyboardist Claude Schnell as a full band member.
That's what made the difference in this album.
Though he's mixed so subtly, many listeners don't notice keyboard player until they read the credits. Mascot Murray returns on the cover, illustrated by Barry Johnson, and the We Rock opener, Egypt, the chains are on. Closer mirrors the bookend structure of Holy Diver. It's become Dio's best-selling album, his first to go platinum in the US and its highest charting, hitting number 4 in the UK. Same classic lineup as Holy Diver, Campbell, Bain, Appice behind Dio.
This is my favorite Dio album. I probably didn't rank it first, but it's still my favorite. Yeah. Give me that. The song "The Last in Line" is that's a song I would never like skip, turn off, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going to listen to it all the way through, and the album sounds so good. It would be interesting to see what Templeman would have done with Dio, but yeah, you can't argue with what Ronnie did on this album. There's not anything bad.
The album was huge at this time, and I was all over it. Got it the day that it came out. I had to have it. I knew it was coming, and listened to it over and over relentlessly. And the tour was amazing. This one was with Rough Cut, and when I saw him in San Bernardino.
Oh, cool! At the Swing?
And no, the Orange Pavilion. Swing had gotten burned down by then. But since they were both on the same label, both bands, and I loved Rough Cut too, so it was just, perfect for a kid of my age. It's just all over it. Just, that was it. That was everything. Let's go back and do it again. I just got out last Friday. I saw Death Angel, and after the show's over, they play on the PA, We Rock. I was like, that just feels good. So we all love Dio. We all love Ronnie.
Yep.
Craig Goldie with Rough Cut at the time?
Yeah.
Oh, now I know Amir was in the band. I don't remember.
Yeah, when I saw him on the Sacred Heart tour, Rough Cut was warming up too. Unfortunately, I didn't know their music at all because they never got any radio attention in Utah.
Being from the Los Angeles area, Rough Cut was in my wheelhouse. Still are.
Yeah. Since then, I've become a fan, and
All right. 2 albums left. Any predictions?
I'm gonna go with. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, I think it's going to be Heaven and Hell, the album Heaven and Hell, Black Sabbath.
Yep, me too.
And Holy Diver. Those two, Holy Diver and Heaven and Hell.
Okay, what order?
I think Holy Diver's next.
I would have put Holy Diver number 1, but yeah, I think I'm going to sit. I'm going to sit with that. Heaven and Hell is going to be next, then Holy Diver. Holy Diver is just such. It's hit our list so often in the last couple of years.
I see Victor grinning. He's going to throw us with something from Dr. Demento or some weird shit just to make us laugh.
I hope so.
Edgar, Dover will be number 1. Dover's always number 1. That's why I've got it tattooed on my leg.
Dover?
Dover's the town where I'm from in New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I should have known that.
Number 2.
Heaven and Hell.
Yes.
Released April 25th, 1980. Martin Birch recorded at Criterion Studios in Miami and Studio Faber in Paris. Released on Vertigo Warner Brothers. Dio's first Black Sabbath album, replacing Ozzy. It didn't begin as a Sabbath album. Iommi and Dio met by chance at the Rainbow Bar on Sunset Strip and first planned a brand new band. They finished Children of the Sea on day one. The album title came from a Dio lyric about the lights or about the highs and lows of being a musician. Dio recommended producer Martin Birch from his Rainbow days, the first outside producer Sabbath had used since 1971's Master of Reality. Drummer Bill Ward later admitted he has no memory of making the album due to his alcoholism. He quit abruptly mid-tour. I'm off then, Ron. I'm at the airport now. So Vinny Appice replaced him, making this the only Dio-era Sabbath LP without Appice. The hypnotic title track bass line came from keyboardist Jeff Nichols, recycling a riff from his old band song, Mainline Riders. So I guess that's Quartz. We'll have to check that out. The cover, Cigarette Smoking Angels,
it's best.
Lynn Curley painting inspired by a 1928 photo of women dressed as angels smoking backstage. The band bunked at BG star Barry Gibbs' house during the Miami sessions.
Love that album cover, and it pissed off some people, and I didn't care, and I still don't. I thought it's great. You go, man. You do it. That's so great.
So I had all the album covers, and I didn't throw
That's
them
all
on
right.
the screen. That's all right.
That's it. We're going to start over.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
The Heaven and Hell song, the live versions, they're on almost every live thing that Dio has through the years. I love the streaming service to be able to go through them, but there's different versions of ways that he's done it. And I love that. There's different breakdowns, and I love that because visually I've seen them, and it just brings back so many memories. It's just great.
Yeah, it's really good. I tell you, the first time I heard this album, my buddy Ed Bizzovi, drummer, he was in another band, obviously at this time. I went to see him at a party, and he had just bought the album, and he played it in between their sets. And he's like, "Oh, you got to hear this! You got to hear this!" And so he cranked it up in the PA. I was like, "Yeah, that's yeah." I mean, at the time, it was just such a mind. Mess with your mind, hearing Black Sabbath without Ozzy Osbourne for the first time. It was just weird. It was like, what is this? It's kind of like when you heard Ozzy's first album as a solo artist. These are strange times, but both of them are fantastic.
So what is CEO Dave's favorite Dio-fronted Sabbath album?
Ooh, I don't know. I'll ask him.
I flip back and forth. I know it's between the two, and Dehumanizer's good too, but I put this one above it, and it's tough. They both could just be a double album and just leave it alone, but they're great. They meld together.
And okay, so here's another question for CEO Dave. Does he prefer Ozzy solo or Sabbath with Dio?
Oh, wow.
Well, you have such a longer...
I actually think I know what he'll say to that.
Okay.
I think he'll say Sabbath because if he could, he would marry Tony Iommi.
Many people have already done so who knows? There's hope in the future.
That's true. Yeah, if both of them weren't so much into women, I could see that happening.
There's always a catch. There's the fine print there you got to read.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm going to say he'd go with that. His, it's interesting because when you talk about Black Sabbath with him, which is pretty much every day, he talks mostly about Tony, but the other guys too. But Ozzy's kind of always been down there as far as his worship until last year when we had the Ozzy, the Black Sabbath concert. That was last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Then all of a sudden, it was like, yeah, he just wanted to talk about Ozzy, and of course Ozzy dying right afterward, tragic, and that. So, I mean, we often say if you tried to put that band together with any other four guys, I don't think there's any way in hell it gets to be what it is. I just don't think it would happen. I don't think you could say, well, if they would have just had another guy drumming, it would have been just as good. No, it wouldn't have.
Yeah,
You
there
needed
was
those four guys. Yeah.
I agree.
And but with Dio, it's different because obviously they had the other three guys for the album, and well, this album won out number one as far as the Dio Sabbath albums. But I mean, you can't say, well, Vinny, really kind of took the band a step down. He didn't. I think he actually pushed it up. But if you put Vinny in the original Sabbath with Ozzy Osbourne, it wouldn't have been the same.
He has played with Sabbath with Ozzy fronting though.
Yeah, you're right. When they did did some reunion stuff, or it was Ozfest or something, and they brought
Bill
Vinny.
Bill Ward had the heart attack, so they brought Vinny back.
Right.
And when I interviewed Vinny years ago, they said that the thought behind that was that they wouldn't have to train another drummer. I got a fly bugging me here, so if you see a green thing around, it's me trying to swat a fly. So,
¿Cómo se dice fly en español?
Mosca.
Mosca? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So before we hit number 1, number 10, Dream Evil. Number 9, Devil You Know, Heaven and Hell. Number 8, Rainbow, Long Live Rock and Roll. Number 7, Black Sabbath, Dehumanizer. Number 6, Rainbow Rising. Number 5, Dio with Sacred Heart. Number 4, Mob Rules, Black Sabbath. Number 3, Last in Line by Dio. Number 2, Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. And
number 1.
That one you would have gotten.
Great.
Because
song.
you kept going, Dan. So you would have gotten.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's one of the tracks near the end.
It's the last track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame on the Night.
Shame on the Night. Yeah.
That drumming by Vinny again. The pounding,
the bass,
right?
Wait. The bass. You got the whole thing. But Jimmy Bain's bass. Yeah.
Yeah. I should learn that.
That's an assignment. Next time we do a show, you got to play the song.
You got a bass? You got a bass, Dan?
I do, and an amp. It's right there.
What bass?
It's in there.
Where?
That's a stack of an amp right there.
Okay, got it.
The bass is over there.
What kind of bass is it?
I have a BC Rich right now.
Oh, see, I didn't know Jimmy played BC Rich. Which one is it?
I have a Warlock.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very cool.
What's the headstock like?
The pointed thing.
Yeah. It's a very.
I always liked the one that Nikki Sixx had, the reverse, like kind of. It was like around the time Shout at the Devil came out. They were all playing with Warlocks with the reverse heads, both him and Mick Mars, actually.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Anyway,
I didn't buy a lot of guitars over my time. I was trying to pay off rent and car and life. So
you mean you were spending money on things that you actually need?
I fucking did. What an idiot! You know, I look back.
You're not really a musician, are you?
Yeah, you know, I had a little bit in the bank account, and I should have just blown it. Yeah.
I saw a meme today that said the reason you have no money is because you paid for I forget what. It was like for
Good.
because you're paying for a mortgage. And then underneath somebody answers, yeah, those 4 Telecasters you have actually didn't help out either. So,
Yeah, I didn't do that. Stupid. Should have bought more guitars and carried them around from apartment to apartment and like all those albums. It gets heavy after a while.
I ship them overseas, so I'm even
Yeah.
dumb. Anyway, number 1, Holy Diver, released May 25th, 1983, produced by Ronnie James Dio, engineered by Angelo Arcuri at Sound Studios in Van Nuys, California. Warner Vertigo again, Dio's solo debut, which actually depends on who you speak to, much like Blizzard of Oz. Dio was either a band or a solo act. Solo debut after he was pushed out of Black Sabbath during the mixing of Live Evil. He took Sabbath drummer Vinny Appice with him and built the band around bassist Jimmy Bain and a 20-year-old Irish guitarist Vivian Campbell. The Sleeve by Randy Barrett shows the band's demon mascot Murray drowning a chained priest. Dio insisted it was deliberately ambiguous. Maybe the priest is the villain, telling fans not to judge a book by its cover. It still fueled bogus Satanism rumors, including the claim that the Dio logo reads devil upside down. Dio wanted to cut Rainbow in the Dark, thinking it was too poppy. The band talked him out of taking a blade to the tape. It became his signature hit. The title track nods Revelations 12:9. Satan cast down to earth. The riding tiger line traces back to an old Chinese proverb. Caught in the middle. I almost said caught in a mosh, by the way. Caught in the middle recycles a riff Campbell had used in his new wave of British heavy metal band. Sweet Savage ranked number 16 on Rolling Stone's 100 greatest metal albums in 2017, 2 times platinum in the US. So, what do you guys have to say about Holy Diver?
It's really interesting how Dio leaves Sabbath, starts his own band. His career trajectory is going like this. Sabbath is going like this.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, Sabbath never really got it back till they got Dio back in the band. I mean, they did tour, headline arenas with their next version, but it was kind of just on the name, and then it just kind of started. Yeah.
The Rainbow in the Dark video was before its time, was so heavy. And, if you were lucky enough to see it, compared to Thomas Dolby and whatever else shit was playing at the time. And here you got Rainbow in the Dark, and he's got his fist on his side, just like he always does. And yeah, man.
Man. You're not wrong. I remember seeing that for the first time, and it was just like, holy crap, this is awesome. And Viv's solo, he's standing on the rooftop there, and he just, it's like, wow, this is awesome. This is everything you want in music right here. This song, this is like, yeah. Sorry, born again can't even, shouldn't even be in the same shelf. Sorry, guys.
That's true. The tour with Dokken opened up, and Dokken is in its prime, and sadly at its end now. It was a 1-2 punch of a tour. Phenomenal. I think it was one of the first 10 shows I'd seen as my young age, starting out right away, just blown away.
So you had to bring up Thomas Dolby so instantly. I
don't know where that came from.
So
but that video was, if you were lucky to see it, they didn't show it all the time. And here's Dio is just amazing.
I didn't see that video till Headbangers Ball. I had never seen that. And the thing is, so I pull this out from behind me, Masters of Metal, which I will always say I got it thanks to Kim Gladish in 3rd grade. She said, "Please invite me to your birthday. I promise you I'll get you something good." She bought me this.
Oh.
So this is a K-Tel, one of the old K-Tel compilations.
Yeah.
This had Trashed by Black Sabbath, Mean Streak by Y&T, Breaking the Chains Dokken, Who's Behind the Door Zebra, Rainbow in the Dark by Dio.
That's
This
a good
was
one.
my introduction to Dio. And I remember seeing the video, and it was the first time I had, because this has a single edit of the song. So it's different than what you got on the album. It's different from the video, and it's different from the single that gets played on the radio today. So I was like, wait a second, there's an additional verse to this song? It isn't on here. That verse is not on here.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow.
This also has Screaming in the Night by Crocus, Lick It Up by Kiss, Street of Dreams by Rainbow. Interestingly enough, all three of the bands that Dio's most associated with on this album.
Wow.
Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden, Tom Sawyer by Rush, A World of Fantasy by Triumph.
Oh yeah.
You Can't Stop Rock and Roll by Twisted Sister, and Dancing in the Streets by Van Halen. This is one of the things that I played the most my entire life. And once
Kim.
digital services, I've recreated this playlist I don't know how many times. So there's very few skippers on here. But Holy Diver, such a magnificent album. It's an album that I didn't get to hear in its entirety until I could afford to buy my own CDs. I bought this and I bought Last in Line, I think, at the same time. And just hearing all the additional songs off of it, just mind-blowing how ferocious the album is, how heavy it is, just how bombastic the playing is, how Dio's singing is, his lyrics, so on and so forth. It was just ridiculous. A lot of these albums I listened to in hindsight. I have Heaven and Hell behind me. I didn't get Heaven and Hell until 91, 1990, somewhere around that. And it's because it's actually behind me here. It still has the sales sticker on it. It was a green sticker on it, which meant that they were trying to get rid of the damn thing. I remember I came back from Spain that summer with like 20 vinyls because they were selling them all for like less than $1.
Wow.
So I came loaded up with I don't know how many different vinyls because of that. Thankfully, Heaven and Hell was one of them. And hearing that album was just so eye-opening. A lot of these albums. I mean, I out of all the albums that are on this list, I listened to Dehumanizer when it came out and The Devil Knew You Know when it came out. Everything else I got to listen to after it was out, years later.
Wow.
So even discovering them was just so fantastic. And a lot of these are just mind-blowing to hear. There are other albums that people voted for that didn't make the top 10 that I absolutely love and I got when they came out. There are other albums that are here. I think 17 albums got voted for in total.
Yeah, Killing the Dragon should be.
Killing the Dragon got voted. There's only one album that did not get voted for.
Really?
And I was kind of surprised because I do like the album. It didn't make my top 10 either. Actually, there's two that, no, my bad. No. I was going to say Angry Machines, but Angry Machines, somebody did vote for it. The only one that nobody voted for was, damn it, I'm going to botch the album title. Master of the Moon.
I like
nobody voted for.
Yeah, I like Master of the Moon, but it's too. I love the mid-tempo songs, but that album is like I think it's only got one fast song on it, and all the rest is mid-tempo. And I think it would have made the album better to mix it up a little bit. But I like it. I enjoy listening to it.
I like the title track. I mean, my biggest problem is after Angry Machines, to me, he tried like Angry Machines and Strange Highways to me were a continuation of what he did with the Humanizer.
Exactly. That's exactly what he did.
Yeah. And then when he got rid of Tracy G, which I think was a mistake, he brought Craig Goldie back, and then they tried to recapture those first few albums, and those Master of the Moon and Magica to me are nowhere close to that. They've got
Yeah.
good songs,
He,
but
need-
as
he needed he needed Doug Aldrich to pull that off.
Doug
Doug
Aldrich
Aldrich.
is great on Killing the Dragon.
Yeah, I think he wrote most of that, didn't he?
And the thing with Doug Aldrich as well, again, it was a guitarist with emergency to his playing. It to me, Doug Aldrich on that album was like bringing Jake E. Lee into the album. Like if we ever wanted to hear Jake play with Dio, that's the closest thing we ever got to it was Doug Aldrich. Because
Yeah.
even Killing the Dragon to me is very like Jake-ish playing.
Oh,
The
100%.
title track.
Yeah. He's a great player and writes really good songs. And I think, I don't know, I kind of figured Dan might be a fan of that Hurricane album that he plays on, that he did.
I loved Hurricane growing up.
Slave to the Throne. What is it?
We listened to them a lot, and they played in our area, and I saw them.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, that I love that album that he plays on.
I'm on
But
to you have Robert Sarzo on it.
Yeah, that has that was the original guys. That's a great song. Whenever, yeah, those guys just didn't write songs. I don't know who wrote those songs, but yeah, they weren't great songwriters.
Well, there you go. They were great musicians who have ended up in all kinds of other bands like Foreigner and the drummers in Yes and
great players. Well, okay. Your CEO Dave did answer. Okay, I asked him, "What's your favorite album with Ronnie James Dio? Your favorite Sabbath album?" And he said, "Die Young." I said, "You don't understand the question, Dave." He should have been on Jeopardy. He would have really screwed things up. But then he came back. I said, "Album, Heaven and Hell." So there you go.
There you go.
I'm going to say because it had 3 of the original Sabbath guys on it. That's why. But he does like that album.
So Dan, you wanted to point something out?
So I was teased a couple of episodes ago
Lizzie.
that Brad has a Lizzie Borden story that I have not yet heard. And hopefully he recalls what he wanted to talk about. But I'm a fan, and I was teased that Brad has something that he wants to share that nobody else has heard, personal to him, regarding. Okay, now he's starting to. Okay, so here we go. The Lizzie Borden. Can I get this?
Wait. Before we get into that,
okay.
Do we want to do that here, or should this be a Patreon exclusive? Because I want to talk to Dan about all those vinyls that you had on the side.
Oh, okay.
So let's do this. Do you guys have like 15 minutes to record something additional? Okay. So
watch this. Yes.
Let's wrap this episode up. I'll send you guys a link to hop on and we'll record the other thing. But anyway, parting words about Dio before we wrap things up here. Brad, anything else you want to add about Dio?
He's a legend. He, if you're going to have a Mount Rushmore of heavy metal, he's got to be on it. Has to be. Sorry. Yeah.
So. Dan?
That's what I was going to say 2 hours ago when I was thinking about this episode and I was getting myself pumped up for this. And I thought that, and he just said it, Brad just said it. And I cried the day he died when I heard the news. I still get emotional about it. I guess you can say that's how close I am. I kind of put him away sometimes because maybe it brings back some tears, but it brings happiness. And I feel emotional now. He meant that much, his music, and the way he took the stage with his mannerisms of his hands in the air, his spinning of that mic, his everything. And it's just gone too soon. You shouldn't have gone. I didn't think he was going to die. I thought he was outliving me. He should still be here. That's it. I mean, it's too bad the music kind of started to go back down, but damn it, give us some more time, and who knows?
Yeah, if he would have carried on, I think he would have done even better. I think they would have been going like this. So
Yeah, had he have lived, I mean, I'm assuming we would have gotten more Heaven and Hell albums.
Yep.
Possibly we would have gotten, those Magica albums that he had threatened us with. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know that had things have gone back to him playing with the Sabbath guys, if he would have ever done like the Dio stuff. Maybe he would have done like an odd thing here and there. I don't know. It's sad because I think out of that classic era of metal, he was kind of the first one to go. You think about him, you think about Lemmy, Ozzy, Ace, all these people. Dio's been gone, what, 15 years already?
Yeah.
So it sucks.
The cool thing is, though, he really did go out on top. You know what I mean? He went out as a headliner. He wasn't just doing nothing. He didn't fade. He didn't fade away.
Yeah.
And he died a star.
Excellent. So on that note, let's wrap things up here. I do want to thank Dan and Brad for joining me. I want to thank everyone who voted on this list. I want to thank Edgar Winterson for being here. I don't want to thank this fly that's annoying the ever-living shit out of me. On that note, we will end this show, and we will see you next time right here on Signals from Mars. See you, folks.
Thank you for watching the Signals from Mars live stream. You can watch the show live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, or check out replays on YouTube. Go to signalsfrommars.com for more information. This concludes our show.